Welcome back to another edition of Lenders Gone Wild podcast. I'm your host, MatthewMaier. Here in a new studio today and here with my new friend, Romando Harrison. Romando,
nice to meet you, Matt.
Nice to meet you. Thanks for being on the podcast. So, as always, right, a new year, new space, but Lenders Gone Wild, we're here to tell stories. We're going to hear Romando's story today, and then we're also going to hear some of those wild sides of real estate stories that you only really can appreciate if you do this business. Right? Because we've all run into it, we've all seen it, and so we'll get to talk about that a little bit more, but I'd love for you just to tell the audience a little bit about yourself, your story, and kind of how you got to where you're at in real estate.
Absolutely. I from Virginia Beach.
Okay.
So the ring is from Virginia Military Institute.
Oh,
went to school
okay.
there.
VMI.
VMI,
Yes,
VMI. So played ball there, and I was a civil engineer major. And so I hopped out of there, and I worked as a construction manager for about 18, 19 years in DC area.
Wow.
So I managed construction projects for the federal government, the Navy, and then I did that for 7 years, worked for the Postal Service, did some office renovations, did all that, and then I decided to move out here with my ex at that time, and I worked for PetSmart.
Yep.
Doing project management for them, and then Intel recruited me because it was a disaster there at PetSmart. And then I worked at Intel, and I fell right back into construction management and loved it. Met my wife during that time, and 2019, that's when my mother passed from breast cancer, and that left my dad at home by himself. And you may know Intel.
Yeah.
They work us like cattle. So I couldn't get home as often to take care of him. And
he's back in Virginia?
He's back in Virginia Beach.
Okay.
So I'm 2,000 miles away from him, and my brother could not get home because he has a lot of kids. But long story short, I quietly quit Intel. She had received her license, her real estate license, and so I just said, you know what, I'm hopping to real estate because it will allow me to get back home to take care of Dad. I had to get home at least once a quarter. He didn't know how to work an iPhone.
Yeah, so life circumstance necessitates the flexibility and kind of taking that step to bet on yourself.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly. So that's, I always say.
What a courageous step, man. Good for you.
Yeah. Mom's the reason why I'm in real estate.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. How's Dad?
He's doing great.
Okay.
He's doing great. He just called me before I came here, so he's doing good. He loves it, and I can get home to see him. But that's how I hopped into real estate, and now we're both full time.
That's amazing.
Yep.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, from the corporate government desk job all the way to this.
Yes.
So that's got to be, I mean, when you look back at your journey, that's got to be one of the most courageous and proudest moments, right? To be on the other side of this, the risk of that step.
It's a huge risk. I mean, I didn't wait until, I didn't make this step when I was single. I waited until I was married, and you know, I'm 51 now, and I waited to become an entrepreneur later. Yeah. So I had to really, I'm still learning how to hustle, because hustling to me was, I just get a part-time job.
Or show up and work harder and make the boss happy.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, and I'll just bartend part-time, but that's really not hustling, right? And so I had to learn from my wife. She had her own business as a fitness instructor, and she was hustling. And so, it took a lot of faith. We are both Christian folks, and I had to step out on faith. Yeah.
That's the only way to do it.
That's the only way to do it.
Right, and then you look back, and you're like, why was I so afraid? Like, of course Jesus did that.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
Exactly.
I love it.
Yep.
What a cool testimony.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's beautiful. So, in that journey, you get into real estate. What has what path look like for you, right? I know you're at ProSmart, or you just left ProSmart, right?
Yes.
Tell me about the new thing you're into.
Yeah, I just left.
I mean, literally, right? Like between booking it and filming it.
Yes. Meeting with my new partner right before this.
Okay.
Yes, ProSmart was didn't want to leave ProSmart.
Yeah.
My wife will stay with ProSmart, but an opportunity came, as you know.
Sure.
The market was slow last year.
Yeah.
For everyone.
For everybody.
Including investors who were doing millions a year. It impacted everyone last year. And I picked a perfect time. Like I'm full time in real estate. It's been since 2022, but I was licensed in 2019.
Yeah.
So I was still, creating a YouTube channel and, just hustling for the leads that we were thankful and blessed to receive. But ProSmart was a good brokerage because what was important to us was I could pick up the phone and the broker answers. I can text him, broker, associate broker, TC, they're right there.
Yep.
Love them. But on the other side, that's what they provided. They didn't provide a CRM. It was very, you're on your own, which was great for us because we have kids. I was busy. And so ProSmart was a great place for me. But after last year, to be honest, Matt, I was looking to go back into construction.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, because it was so slow.
It was a tough year.
It was a tough year. And so I have a wife, I have kids, I got a family, and got to provide. So I was applying for jobs and just praying, look, God, where do you want me to go?
Yeah.
And so my close friend came with this opportunity. He said, don't sign another listing contract until you talk to me. So I said, okay. Oh. He said, I have something up my sleeve. And he was an investor, wholesaler. He was shutting his operation down. Little did I know. And then literally last Sunday, he said, hey, it's up and running. And I met with him. We both met with him. And I just jumped ship on Monday.
Wow.
And I'm now with his brokerage called AZ Dream Homes.
AZ Dream Homes. Okay.
Yep.
New brokerage, watch out.
A new brokerage, watch out. We have 11 closings this month.
Let's go. That's a great way to start.
Great way to start. And it's good for both of us because he was just brought on. It's a close friend of his. And he said, look, man, I started a brokerage. We know how to generate leads. We have over 4,000 transactions under our belt. I'm hopping into the retail because he's married, he wants kids, and it's a bit, I'm not going to say slower, but they know how to generate leads.
Yeah.
And so he just hopped on board. He's going on his second listing appointment today, and he's going to start training me next week.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. What does, right, so anytime I think you step into these new opportunities in your career, right, you have this like, what I hope this could be, right? Like there's this dream that's out there that's a really exciting piece of what makes you do the really hard work of this job every day.
Right.
Right? What does that look like for you? What is the like, this is the thing we're chasing?
Yeah, that's a good question. The beauty of this opportunity is, as you know, in real estate, people work with who they like.
Sure.
I like Matt. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
We're going to use him.
Yeah.
I don't care how much experience he has or if he's got 30 years or 2, we're using Matt.
I mean, trust goes a long way, right?
Trust goes a long way.
I've met the brand new agent or the brand new lender or the brand new escrow officer who's really on it, even if they're learning along the way.
Right.
But you know that they're telling you the truth.
That's right.
You know that they're accountable, right?
That's right.
You know that they show up. Sometimes the guy who's got all the things on the resume, the character doesn't show up.
Exactly.
Right? Like there's a piece of that matters.
Exactly. So that's one thing that my wife and I learned in real estate school. We had a really good teacher. He said, look, it's not about spreadsheets. It's not about the presentation. It's not about any of that stuff. It's about, you just got to get them to like you.
That's right.
And so my vision, I've been building my brand. My wife has been building her brand.
Right.
And this new opportunity will allow, obviously, the income, the volume, okay, I'm busy. I can show that I am busy now. I have an agenda today. I have a listing appointment. I have to meet with my lender. I have to show homes at 5 o'clock this evening to buyers. People want to work with the person who's busy.
That's right.
And they're in the know. If you're a realtor who does not have business, you're kind of frowned upon, like, okay, you're just a newbie, right? You know, you're not as busy as this other person. So that is one advantage to my new brokerage. But at the same time, I'm able to build my brand on social media.
Sure.
So everything that I've started with my YouTube channel, everything I've started on social media, I primarily tour the luxury homes.
Okay.
Luxury home builders.
Yeah.
I say I'm in bed with the home builders, but as a construction manager, I like going to the home builders.
They're fun, huh? Those model homes, the luxury model homes they're beautiful. That's a good place to spend your day.
They're beautiful. They're beautiful. They are people. I have toured the 4 to 5 to even the 300,000, but they don't receive a lot of engagement. People like the sexy.
Sure.
The luxury homes. And so I'm able to continue to build my brand. Yeah. And so I would like to eventually, potentially one day, either get my own brokerage or continue to stay where I'm at. But I think ultimately we would like to getting to have some rentals on our belt. Our son is 13. He's able to go off to college, play basketball.
Okay.
And so we want to be able to go to his games in college and attend. And so we want a couple of rentals, some income coming in. Yep. And then if we want to do a flip, 2 or 3 a year, we can do that. But we'll have that rental income coming in.
Yeah.
So, and if I want to do some transactions, 2 or 3 transactions per year, that's fine. But I still want to continue to, I enjoy it. Yeah. That's the difference. Like it doesn't feel like work to me. People ask, when are you going to retire? I don't think I would ever stop. It's like Warren Buffett. He continues to invest in his 90s. I'm going to continue to do this because we love doing it. We're passionate about. Yeah. You love real estate, the product, not just. Right. Some people, it's the flexibility or it's the big paychecks or they see the cars or the whatever, right? And they come and chase the wrong thing. Correct. Right? The home ownership piece, the really putting a family in a stable position, helping them accomplish a dream that is more than just an asset. Correct. Right? And especially in the luxury space, right? There's a lot of that like it gets really big, but understanding like it's not just a big beautiful house. Right. Like this is somebody's home and dream and a place where like life happens. It's your lifestyle. Right? Yeah. Yeah. It photographs really well. Exactly. But there's behind the scenes. Correct. I mean you're I wish you could get that out there and market, how passionate you are, but we truly, my wife and I, we truly care about people, helping people. We care about serving God. We're serving. Yeah. And that's gratifying. That's what I mean, right? And that's the success comes then not just with it's not a paycheck or an achievement or a status. It's it's like I showed up and gave my best to the people in front of me, right? Like I am where my feet are, and this is what I have to offer you today, right? Even us figuring this thing out, right? Yeah, like, that's right. Super gracious, that's right. We'll make it work, right? You show up and you find solutions and you serve. And you serve. And that's what's a really beautiful way to do business. And I think it's really something that not enough people probably talk about. Right. Yeah. Right. Because it's when you're doom scrolling, right? That's not what catches you. Right. Right. No, it's not. It's the other. It's the wild. It's the things that are a little bit extra or a little bit bizarre, louder, or funnier. That's right. And that's
to be able to understand how to balance that, to have the online personality,
Correct.
but that's not who I am.
That's not who I am. Right.
Right. And, like this is a funnel to be able to create service.
That's right.
And that's it's a pretty unique strategy, man.
It is. It is. It's been challenging to, you have to identify who you're going to be on the camera.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Am I going to just wear a hat? Am I going to wear a suit? Am I going to be the Ryan Serhant and wear a suit all the time, or am I going to be, the other guy in shorts and a t-shirt? Because what you put out there, you attract, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you got to be Romando.
That's right.
That's what I want to put
That's
out.
right.
Right. I know that I'm not going to work. Everybody's not going to work with me, but the people who see me and they do like me, they're going to work with me. So, and that's just the nature of the business.
Yeah. Right. You have enough conversation with enough people, and you're genuine and consistent. You will attract the people that like and trust and value who you are, not just what you can do for them.
Correct.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's
awesome. That's awesome. What has been in this journey so far? Curious, what are some of the biggest kind of challenges or pitfalls that you maybe found the hard way, or you at least were able to identify quick enough to sidestep? What are some challenges you faced?
That's a good question. I would say the biggest challenge is when I hopped into real estate full time. My wife was telling me, "Babe, you're going to get all these leads from your Intel sphere." Right? And she was right, but it didn't happen right away.
Yeah.
Right? Because COVID hit. I couldn't have picked a better time to hop into real estate full time. But after COVID, I didn't know where to start. Like I said earlier, I had to teach myself how to hustle. Okay, I'm full time now, but how do I get out there? You have to put yourself out there.
Especially, you're at a place where there's a level of you're your own boss, right? There's not, there's no minimum requirements for time in office or talk time or like some of this, there's not places that have some of these like high splits that, treat you almost like an employee in real estate.
Correct.
Right.
And I'm not on a team, right? My wife was doing very well. She was busy during COVID, after COVID, and her business took off because she had a sphere. She had a business, and so she basically converted those leads. She had been here longer than me. I'm still brand new here. So I had to first change my LinkedIn profile because I'm no longer in construction. Now I'm in real estate. So I had to let everyone know I'm no longer a construction project manager. You do not contact me for consulting, but you can contact me to move in Arizona or Virginia. And now, as I looked, it was kind of eye-opening because all of my friends, my best friend back at home in Virginia Beach, he's a broker.
Okay.
He was in real estate. Now I'm starting to see other, my friends who are also in real estate. And so to answer your question, I think the biggest challenge for me was social media. It's a gift and a curse. It's a gift and a curse, right? Because I am a techie person, as you found out. I'm a techie person. And so I went to YouTube University and I started looking on YouTube because that's where even my dad at 80, he'll be 86 next month.
Wow.
Gets on YouTube. And he's watching YouTube from his TV. And so I saw this realtor in Texas. He had moved from California to Texas, picked up, didn't know a soul. He was with EXP, and he just bought a mic. He had his iPhone, and he just started touring new home builds and outside of Austin, Texas. And he was getting not just views, but engagement. Like his call to action, you can see it right there in the comments. Hey, I want more info on this. I want more info. And then that's all he did. And I said, I can do that. And so I stepped out on a limb that summer and I went and bought a gimbal, a mic, and my wife was like, "Where are you going?" And I said, "I'm going to Scottsdale. I'm going to tour a home build." And she kind of looked at me funny. She was like, "Okay." And I learned Canva. I learned how to upload my YouTube, I guess my YouTube homepage so it can appear on TV and then on the phone correctly. And I did all of that. And then I just started shooting and putting content out there. Because again, you have to put yourself out there. Right. There's a reason why people know the Haley Flickingers of Gilbert, the Shannon Gillettes of Queen Creek, the Ashley Sanchez on the West Valley, because they're putting content out there, and so that's what people use today. And I say it's a gift and a curse because I didn't have that at first, so I started from the ground up. And so now it's putting the genuine, authentic content out. And you have to be consistent. And I don't know if you may know already, but that's a job within itself.
Vic, if you're watching, right? I'm a full-time person.
That's a job within itself. My wife was like, just create a video, one of those 1 hour videos where it's like 1 hour. I was like, do you know how long that you take to edit? I mean, just to download the footage, fly the drone. But I realized quickly that after 2 months, I created a YouTube channel. I had about maybe 10 videos. A phone call rang. Hey, I saw your video at Toll Brothers.
There we go.
And she was there and she was like, wow, is that a buyer? I said, yeah, he saw my video. And he ended up buying a home from me 6 months later.
That's amazing.
Then another month went by and another buyer from Florida contacted me and they said, we want that home that you toured. And I showed them some more homes and they literally bought the home that I toured.
That's pretty cool.
And so that was
a lot of times the content just gets somebody in the door, right? You don't actually close on that property.
They bought the same model home that I toured. And
That's awesome.
That was my largest transaction. And so then the wife was like, hey, let's scale this, right? And what we did not know was that it now helped us with getting listings. Because now we can go to a listing appointment. She can go to a listing appointment. Even though we brand ourselves separate, we work together. She's an excellent stager and she was going to appointments. This is what my husband can do for you. We can put it on YouTube. And so now that helps us with our listings. And so it's good. I say it's a gift and a curse because it's good, but at the same time, it's just keeping up with the algorithms and scaling the content.
Like you said, it's a full-time job.
It's a full-time job.
So to do real estate excellently and to serve people at a high level, right? And then, it's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot when you're learning it at, our age.
And it is.
It's a lot.
And it's hard to find, the curse is it's hard to find. I tried to delegate that work. And I did hire somebody to create, I just did the raw footage and I sent it to the team, but it wasn't the same quality. And so a lot of times these videographers, they want a retainer and I'm like, you're not a lawyer. I mean, what's going on? You're producing a product, produce the product first. But I'm like, and they created a couple of videos for me, but it wasn't the same quality that I was doing. And so I said, you know what? It's hard to find good people because now, all these apps, AI, my wife, bless her heart, she sends me, babe, check this out. But it's not helpful for us. People want to see you. They don't want to see AI.
That's right.
Right? Yeah. They want to see you.
Yeah, we're actually sitting here. This is real life. You can touch him.
Yeah. So all these apps, they're creating all of these animes and stuff like, it's not helpful. Right? And so you have to be in the video. And so that is the finding the right help. And so the majority of the time I do it myself. And just kind of how can I streamline this and just continue to improve? And the only way to do that is to just do more.
That's right.
You get better and better. Right?
That's right.
So now we go. The reps. You got to get the reps in. Yep.
That's good. I appreciate that. Tell me a little bit about right, in the luxury space, maybe you don't deal with this as much as some of the stuff that I've seen, or maybe it's a different, right? I mean, I've got stories from, showing up to signings where, the Glock's on the counter, right? I mean, like you see some things in this business, right?
Yeah.
You see some things. So tell me some stories about, right, just the wild side of what you've encountered serving clients in this space, because,
Yeah, so I have one story.
Okay, let's
go. I have one story where we had a realtor refer me to a client because he was on the west side of the valley, and this client was looking for a home in the East Valley. He currently had a home in Maricopa that he needed to sell. He was going through a divorce, but he was a business owner, and he kept saying, "I'm looking for a Queen Creek house." I said, "Okay." So I was showing homes, and then he said, "I'm looking for a house in Tucson." In Tucson. And so I drove down there with him. We learned about what he was doing with his business. Very good business. I can't really say what he was doing. But he had a very good business. And we basically, knocked on the door. He saw this house, and we basically said, "Hey, what would it take for, my client he loves your house." It was a beautiful home. But it turned out he showed me, he said, "I'm paying cash."
Okay.
Business owner. And he showed me proof of funds. And it was like $60 million in his account.
Okay.
I saw it.
On paper anyways.
On paper, I saw it in his account. I was like, "Oh, okay." He has. So I was helping the guy. I was helping him, showing him homes and sending him this, that. And this was when I was still working at Intel, and I get a call from a detective. And the detective left me a message saying, "Hey, Romando, do you know X, Y, and Z? Give me a call back, yada, yada, yada."
No.
2 minutes later, my broker called me. "Hey, I got a call from a detective. Can you come in the office?" So I told my manager, "Hey, I got to go." And I went to my broker's office, and he said, "Do you know this guy?" I said, "Yeah, he's my client." And long story short, he was taking money from clients, individuals. And so the detective wanted to talk to me. He saw one of the people who he had committed fraud against, went into his office and saw the real estate contract and saw my name. And so, like I said, I can't talk about any names or anything, but
he's trying to take all of those illegal funds and filter them through real estate.
Correct. Yeah. Well, he was just filtering through his business.
Okay.
And so this person just saw that he was buying a house and just saw my name on it, and so that's why. But turned out that's what's very important to me. But I was shook. I was like, "Whoa, what's going on?" I was like, I didn't do anything wrong, and so. Detective just wanted to know, "Hey, did he take any money from you or anything like that?" He did not. And so, but yeah, that was kind of crazy. I thought
that is crazy.
I was like, "Man, is my client with the cartel or something? I mean, what's going on?" I don't know, but
I have one of those. Right?
Yeah. So that was one of the first crazy. And then I had another wild experience, just a newbie experience. It's kind of funny now, but I had a friend I was showing a condo to. I forgot about this one. Very first person I ever met when I moved here from DC to Arizona, because obviously I'm not with my ex, but I didn't know a soul here.
Sure.
And so I met this good friend of mine. I was living in Scottsdale, and she said, "Hey, can you show me this condo development?" And it was beautiful condo development off of close to Lincoln and Scottsdale Road. And so I said, "Sure." So we go up there, and I put the showing in, and I was still I think it was my first year full time in real estate. So I was still brand new. And so we go to there was a gate with all the lock boxes on there.
Okay.
So I get the right lock box.
Okay.
And I said, "Okay, this is, it's unit 201. And so we go in, we walk in, and there's like 3 or 4 different buildings and then the units. And so we go to the building, we see unit 201, and I try the key, and the key didn't work. So I was like, wait a second, that's odd. So I checked my showing time and I checked and I said, unit 201, unit 201. So I checked the key. Well, while I was doing the key, I said, the key's not working. She opens up there's French doors on the side. She goes, this is weird, they're open. So I was like, oh, okay. So we go in and we're touring the condo, beautiful condo. We go on the first level. I mean, wallet was sitting out with cash right there. So I was like, okay, that's a little
weird.
odd. Yeah. And so we're walking through the condo and we see the security cameras and everything. I said, okay, secure. And we go to the second level, the kitchen, and we're just looking through the condo.
Yeah, you're just touring a condo,
We're touring
right?
the condo. Yeah. And so, because I said, man, the door was open. So we walked in. And so we get all the way to the top and we go, wow, this person is still living here, obviously. But it was still, ironically, it was show ready.
That's amazing.
Like it's tour, right?
Right.
And so
it's not for sale, but it looks like it is.
Correct. And so when we come down the steps and we open the door, she walks out first, and we're greeted with freeze. Put your hands up. The police were out there with guns drawn, and they were like on her left side and on my right side, and she throws her hands up. And I throw my hands up with the key like this, and they go, he's a realtor. We're doing a showing. And I said, yeah, I'm a realtor. We're doing a showing. And so they split us up. She goes to one side, I go to the other. And I'm nervous as hell. Like, I can't breathe without a gun pointed at me.
Oh my God.
I mean, they literally were like, freeze. It was like a movie. And so I tell the police officer, he's like, calm down, calm down. I was like, I can't, man. You just had guns. He was like, I said, listen, I'm showing this house. And so I pulled it up and I showed it to him. I said, I had a scheduled showing, unit 201. And he's like, we got a call from the owner saying that someone broke into their house and they watched you on camera. I said, well, yeah. I said, that's weird. I said, we have a tour scheduled. I called the agent and I said, look, man, I said, Unit 201, you approved it. I said, why did your seller contact the police? He goes, which building are you at? And I said, I'm at Unit 201. He said, no, but which building? They had 2 Unit 201s. And so he starts laughing because I had it on speaker and the police officer's there. He was like, dude, you went to the wrong building. He said, I've done that before. And I was like, this is not funny. And so
you might need to put that in the remarks.
Exactly,
Right?
yeah, you might want to put that
comments.
in there. Exactly. And so the police officer was cool. They were both cool. And she said, ironically, it was open.
Yeah, yeah.
And so
now the best part would be, did she actually buy the real 201?
No,
Okay.
no,
Dang
she
it.
did not. She did not. I think she joked me after that. Come on, newbie. She was like, she joked me after that. And so I called my broker and everything. And I called the realtor who was selling the real 201. And he was like, dude, I've done it. He was laughing. And so the police officer was so cool. They were young guys.
Yeah.
And so they could see it was. He was like, you didn't break in? I said, no, it was open.
Yeah.
And she told him the same thing. So I came home and I was like, I will never do that again, right?
Yeah,
I will
right.
always make sure I'm in the right house. And so that's something that our brokers teach us. Actually, my wife taught me, when you walk into a house, even if it is the right house, still announce, hello, is anybody home? Walking in, right? So that was a fun experience.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you're lucky they weren't home.
Correct.
Right?
Correct. Taking a shower or something.
Or
right?
armed.
Or armed. Exactly.
Right? Because they might not have been as patient as the police.
Correct. I mean, it was an experience for sure. Yeah. So it was like one of those situations where you learned, right away, early in your career. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good, man. Well, I wish you nothing but the best of luck. AZ Dream Homes.
Yes.
Here we go.
Yeah, here we go.
Here we go. It's going to be exciting to watch you build the luxury side of that and continue to create wealth and opportunity for your family and for the families you serve. So grateful to have you on as a guest.
Thank you.
Any final remarks?
No, I look forward to working with you guys. And
awesome.
I'm ready.
Awesome, man. Hey,
Nice meeting you. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it.